Kit, it was a fantastic result against Derby and a great performance. Went away to Watford on Tuesday night, and whilst the performance was still there, obviously no points. You must be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I was very, very frustrated because again, it was another good performance that I felt warranted, minimum a point. But afterwards on reflection, I was happy with the way we played, chances we created, the way we, nullified them for the majority of the game. The leading scorers in the leagues. It was frustrating not to come away with something, and ultimately that's what we're here to do, is to get points on the board. So, that was disappointing. But like I said, the overall performance we'll certainly take a lot of heart from, and if we continue to play the way we did against Derby, the way we did against Watford, then we'll be fine.
Matt Smith came back from loan, and obviously you pushed him on in the late stages of the game, and tactically that made you have to change the way that you played. Is that something you're going to be considering for the next few games, that obviously that Matt's around?
Yeah. Well, it's good to have sort of different options and a bit of a plan B at times and things like that. And Matt is a good player, who's coming back from good form at Bristol, having scored a good number of goals for them. So he's great to have him back on board. I felt I took the decision at the time he had to get out and get match fit, get sharp, and hopefully go and score some goals, which is exactly what he did. So we've got a good player back who's in good form, and that's where the loan system can work very well.
But would that change your thought process in terms of the way that you set up for a game, the way that you start a game, or is it very much that you're tactically the way that you want to play is?
Well, I've got a way that I'd like to play, and if things are going well, sort of brilliant. But it's good to have different options and to keep teams guessing about what you're going to do, how you're going to start, and having Matt Smith in your team gives you a different dimension and a different option of a style of play, certainly. So we still need to play good football, but you can play a bit more direct when you've got a physical presence like Matt in the team.
Fernando made an appearance on the bench, which obviously is good news because that means he's fit and ready for selection. Again, that gives you more options at the back.
It does exactly, and I think with a tough run of games coming up, 11 games in sort of 7-8 weeks, the run into the end of the season, we're going to need to utilise the whole squad, and it's good to get Fernando and Tim both back fit, available. So that's a big plus for us, definitely.
And another addition for the remainder of that season is Alan Curbishley to join your backroom team. Yeah,
delighted. Curbs is someone who I know reasonably well, and obviously know him by sort of reputation extremely well. He's been around a long time, wealth of experience, and that's I looked at it and that's the one thing that myself and my staff who've been fantastic, I've got to say. We haven't got experience at that level, and he's got that experience in abundance, and I'll be certainly tapping into him, trying to get as much sort of knowledge and use his experience as much as possible.
And as a sounding board with that experience, he has good advice to give.
Yeah, absolutely. I looked at the situation and I was really pleased with the way things were going and the dynamic of the staff. But I asked myself the question: would Alan Curbishley coming in make us better as a group? And the answer was a resounding yes, without a doubt. How could it not? And I just, I want to be as good as I can be. I want the staff to be as good as they can be, and I want the football club to do as well as it can. And Alan Curbishley coming in will help that.
Another game in quick succession onto Bournemouth. Another team flying high, looking for automatic promotion, playoff position, but not in great form. Or does form not count in this league? Is it?
Well, it does, but form can change, so they're a good side, listen, they're still a good side, and everyone in this division, as I've said all along, will have little wobbles and little patches where they don't maybe get the results that they want to. Sometimes people actually lose form and don't play so well, other times they maybe play quite well and don't get the results, as I know better than anyone. But whatever, it's about getting a good run of results at any one time. So there can be different reasons for not getting the results that you feel you need and deserve. But there's no getting away from it. Bournemouth have been towards the top of the table pretty much all season, and are an excellent side with a very bright, good young manager. So they'll come, looking to get certainly back on track, and they're still there and thereabouts and pushing on. So be a very, very tough game.
And of course they score a lot of goals, so defensively again it's going to be a tough challenge for the young back four.
Well, it will be. Again, it'll be similar going into Watford on Tuesday night. They were the leading scorers. we kept them pretty quiet. You know, they had a good chance for Vidra hit the bar and obviously scored from second phase from a corner kick. But other than that, I thought we defended very, very well. That's as a team again, as we did against Derby. You know, our sort of man behind the two strikers, which was Brian on this occasion, dropping back in. That was your phone, by the way.
I know,
dropping.
I'm fined £100.
The man in the hole dropping back into midfield to make us strong and compact there makes a huge difference. So no, we look defensively. Our shape has been looking quite good, and I've been quite pleased.
Obviously, the guys were disappointed when they came off the pitch on Tuesday. They thought they deserved something. What's the difference in picking up a team that's been kind of a little bit low on confidence? Is it easier after they know they put in a good performance, or does that make it tougher?
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. You know, I think sometimes after a bad performance, you can really get into them and give them a bit of a volley, and they know they let themselves down, so to speak. But Tuesday night was a bit different. We knew we put in a solid, good performance, but it's that frustration now, really, and we need to channel that and turn that into real sort of positive energy and make sure we get the right result against Bournemouth now on Friday night. What was great, I've got to say, I thought our travelling support. People know what I think about Fulham fans in general, anyway. But I thought they were brilliant on Tuesday night at Watford. Really, really great support for the team, and it makes a huge difference. You know, it really does, and so our fans are brilliant. And
at home against Derby, not only did the performance kind of quieten down the Derby fans, our fans, because of the performance. So more of the same tomorrow night.
Well, it did. I mean, Derby, full credit to them. Fair dues. They bought a very noisy, large contingent, but it drowned out. Obviously, our fans were excellent on Saturday as well. Obviously a good team performance, but the crowd play a big part in that, and it was great to have them on board.
We wish you luck.
Thank you.